Now the Baal Shem Tov had this idea. He always went to a town, as he traveled around, his first thing, he would ask people, how's it going with your livelihood? How's it going with your family? How's it going with your health? He asked this question in order to elicit a response. The response that the people would give was one form of another of their bitachon in Hashem. They would say, Baruch Hashem, thank you Hashem. The Baal Shem Tov comes to a particular town and there's this sage learning for 50 years. Hearing his talis and film the whole day, depriving himself of community, material, even basic sustenance. Baal Shem Tov walks into this person's room and he asks him, how you feeling? And the person's ignoring him because he's learning. He asks him, do you have everything you need? And he's ignoring him. At some point, he tells him to leave the room. Points with his finger. He doesn't even take the time to tell it to him. And the Baal Shem Tov rattles him and the Baal Shem Tov says, why are you depriving Hashem from his livelihood? The person was shocked. The Baal Shem Tov dressed as a peasant. How is it possible that in this week's parsha the pasuk says Ubashana hachamishis lohisif lachem tfuasai? The pasuk implies that year number 5 of after planting a tree, the first 3 years it's arla, you're not allowed to eat it. Year number 4, it's holy, it's kodesh, it has to be taken to Yerushalayim, you could only eat it in a certain level of sanctity. Yet the pasuk says that the ultimate, the highest level is Ubashana hachamishis on the 5th year. Year number 5, you eat it at home. Year number 5, you don't need to be in a level of kedusha. Even if a person's in a state of impurity, it's still able to be consumed. After sharing this story of the Baal Shem Tov, we get a little bit of a window about how this works. The ultimate bracha, the ultimate objective of the fruits that Hashem provides us with, and in this case it provides us with abundances, that we acknowledge that they come from Hashem, not only in a state of Kedusha, but even when they're in the mundane, regular, day-to-day parnasa, day-to-day, year number 5 fruit, when we acknowledge there that it comes from Hashem, that is the objective that Hashem set out for us to appreciate, to accomplish, realizing that Hashem is found everywhere, not only in the state of Kedusha, not only in the obviously in the Torah we learn, in the davening we daven, but even in the mundane, day-to-day life, acknowledging that Hashem is there is what Hashem wants from us. Shabbos.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And the Baal Shem Tov walks into this person's room and he asks him, are you, how you feeling? And the person's ignoring him because he's learning. He asks him, do you have everything you need? And he's ignoring him. At some point, he tells him to leave the room. He points with his finger. He doesn't even take the time to tell it to him. And the Baal Shem Tov rattles him, and the Baal Shem Tov says, why are you depriving Hashem from his livelihood? We get our sustenance from Hashem. How does Hashem get his sustenance? The pasuk says, Va'ata kadosh, and you Hashem, Yoshev, what brings down, what causes that Hashem reside amongst us, bring the brachas into this world. Va'ata kadosh, Yoshev Tehillos Yisrael. It is through the praising of the Yidden. When this person says, and the Baal Shem Tov asks, tells him, why are you depriving Hashem from this thing? The question is, he's not depriving Hashem, he's sitting and learning the whole time. Isn't he doing a beautiful thing? And the Rebbe explains that true learning is important. Not only is learning important, but learning is connecting to Hashem. But Hashem wants from us to make this world a dwelling place for Hashem. This world includes components of a lowly world, a material world, a physical world that requires us to elevate it. The only way we elevate it is if we acknowledge that everything comes from Hashem. And that's why the Baal Shem Tov specifically asked about material things in this world, about livelihood, about health, because he wanted to elicit the praise from Hashem about those things. And when we praise Hashem for those things, we elevate. We cause that Hashem draw down a greater level of his presence into this world, and time and again, when we acknowledge it, we're bringing more and more of the presence of Hashem until we lead to the ultimate of a dira b'tachtonim, a revealed dwelling place for Hashem in this world, that being with the Beis HaMikdash and the coming of Mashiach.